Well, right now we want to continue. We're getting late in Lent. I'll tell you more about that. Obviously, Lent is going to be over here in just a couple of days. But we have, throughout this season of Lent, been bringing you our Lenten 40-40-40 project. 40 days of Lent, 40 worthy causes, and 40 opportunities for almsgiving, which, again, as Catholics, we think of not just about giving money, although that's a fine and holy thing to do, but time, talent, and treasure. And so this morning, we are very blessed to welcome Carla Dobrovits, who is the director of an organization called Reece's Rainbow. Carla, good morning. Welcome to Seize the Day.
Good morning, Gus. I'm so jealous you're down in Florida. It's hailing nearby me here in Chicago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, then I won't tell you about our sunshine and 82 degrees. All right. We won't bring that up today, Carla. No, it's great to have you here. Thank you so very much. If you would tell our listeners first about Reece's Rainbow, what you do and how you got involved with this.
I will indeed, sir. Reece's Rainbow is a nonprofit, a ministry based here in the United States, focused on promoting the international adoption of children with special needs. We were started 10 years ago. It's our 10th anniversary this year, and over 1,700 children with Down syndrome and other disabilities have been brought into loving families here in the United States from countries all over the world through the efforts of our founder, Andrea Roberts, who had a son with Down syndrome and found out that in the rest of the world, these children are warehoused at best and given up as lost with no medical care, no education at worst. So she set up a mechanism here in the United States to give a face to these children so that families can see who's waiting in what countries and be moved to do a number of things. We say we ask for 4 things of people who support Reece's Rainbow: to pray for these children and the families that are hoping to bring them home, to share the waiting children so others people can see them, to donate to our families or to a waiting child's grant fund, and then finally to consider and discern if maybe they're being called to adopt as well.
And now, how about you, Carla? What made you get into this position?
Well, it's a long story, but in short, I had 6 biological children, made the old-fashioned way, from ages 18 down to 2, and I had a friend who had adopted a sibling group of 3 from Africa. And on January 1st, 2011, I Googled helping orphans. And I thought I really should do more since I've been blessed with, children of my own. I really should do more to help children who have no parents. And one of the first things that came up was Reece's Rainbow, www.reecesrainbow.org. Reece is the name, again, of our founder's son, Reeces. And I saw children in Eastern European institutions, children who were 10 years old and the size of a 2-year-old, who were kept in a crib all day, who were thought that just because they had a physical disability that they were not worthy to go to school, and it rocked my world. And I thought, well, you know what I'll do? I'll donate some money to these children so there can be a grant fund built up for them. So when a family jumps and says, ooh, this child is someone we want to put in our family, I'm going to, there's going to be $2,000 in that child's grant fund I can access when I'm ready to travel. Or I'll help a family who's traveling because the average cost of international adoption is $25,000. I'll donate some money to pay for plane tickets for that family to bring their children back. And I prayed and I did donate. And then I saw a little guy on there that honestly, just the Lord told me that should be child number 7 in your family. I told my husband. He looked at me like I had 2 heads, Gus. But he prayed about it also for a month and agreed. And we brought our son Henry home. He was severely disabled. He was with us for only 14 months, Gus, before the Lord called him home. Henry was 2.5 years old. He died of surgical complications. He was in the PICU constantly. And it was quite a thing for our whole family. But we knew we knew that he was in the best hands, safe with Jesus, and you cannot go to an orphanage and see what's there and not have that change your life. So a year later, we traveled over again to Eastern Europe and adopted a sibling group of 3 to add to our family. An 11-year-old girl, her 3-year-old brother, an 18-month-old sister who had not been raised together. They were all in different places. And they got together and we brought them into our family. And so we have 9 children here, ages 24 down to 4 at the moment. I would have been the last person I would have thought. I never thought of adoption before. But one of my missions is letting people know not only about Reese's Rainbow, but to let you know adoption is not just maybe what we do when we can't have our own biological children. It's maybe a way the Lord is calling us to add to our family. Because honestly, families who have already parented are a great place for these children to grow up in. Because we're experienced parents, right? We're ready for the medical and other challenges that come along with adopting a child with special needs.
What a beautiful story. Carla Dobrovits is with us this morning, and we're talking about Reese's Rainbow. And let's spell that for you again. It's REECES, rainbow.org. So if you go to reecesrainbow.org, you'll find out more about, how they are helping families to adopt special needs children. So tell me, take me through the process, if you will, Carla, and, how long does it typically take? I'm sure that everything is sort of fungible and, with different situations, but generally speaking, run us through the process, if you would.
Absolutely. Most families who come to us see a waiting child on our website. We actually have, when you go to the website, if you go to, there's a waiting children tab, and you can see their descriptions. But the most important thing, Gus, is the country they're from, because every country has different qualifications to adopt. So it breaks my heart when someone sees a child, but they don't qualify to adopt from that country. Some require only married couples. Some allow single moms. Some have age requirements, income requirements. So we have that all on our website under How to Adopt. You can look at the different country programs, look at the waiting children. You have to get a home study here in the state you live in. That's something if you're domestically adopting or internationally adopting. But the extra step is you also have to ask for approval from USCIS, from the U.S. government. You do that process at the same time you're doing your home study. A fast country like Ukraine, we have a large Ukraine program that adopt. You can see a child, commit to them, and be in Ukraine 7 months later, meeting that child. You adopt them, you bring them home. A country like China, 9 months or so, unless there's a reason to expedite. Most other countries, I'd say about a year to 18 months for the whole process. Some countries like Bulgaria, you go meet the child, accept their referral, say you're going to adopt them, then you go back home, and court happens while you're gone. And 3 or 4 months later, you go back and bring the child home. So every country is different, but we have all the waiting children profiles and the countries they're from, so you can see what will fit best for your family. Some require only one parent to travel. That's sometimes easier for a larger family. Some countries require both parents to travel and a longer travel time. So you can look at that and see what works for your family. And we have volunteers who are able to walk you through the process. We don't just show you the child and then drop you. We are a family through the whole process. Most of our families fundraise for these adoptions, Gus. Ourselves, we fundraise for both adoptions through our wonderful community here, through our parish, St. Anthony, online auctions, various things. For our second adoption, we raised $30,000 in 6 months.
Wow.
To adopt our 3 siblings. And it's people fundraise, they brainstorm ideas, they help. So we are a whole family process to help you from finding your child to doing your paperwork to helping possibly fundraise money to bring that child home. And we have volunteers and experienced people who will help you with that all along the way. But that being said, if you're not called to adopt, and we know not everyone is, we just really ask look at the child. Perhaps there's a waiting child who has a similar name as to one of your children. Maybe you'd like to make a donation to his waiting child fund. So that's there. So when a family says, we want to bring that child home, they have $1,000 or $2,000 in that child's fund to do that. We are a nonprofit, 501c3. Any donation is tax deductible, and you'll get a receipt for that at the end of the year. Or you can sponsor a family. You can read about all the families. We have all that information, why they're adopting, who's in their family now, who they're hoping to bring home. And you can donate directly to that family. We hold those funds, supervise them, and we don't disperse them until that family is on their way to pick up that child in the country they're in. So there's many ways you can give. The Voices of Hope Fund is for our operational expenses. We have to pay PayPal fees. We have to keep our website up and running. So there's a red donate button at the top. If you don't know exactly what you want to do and just want to do a general donation, Voice of Hope Fund, big red button. Send us a donation so we can keep that website going, so we can give visibility to our children. Any way you can help. And of course, please pray. Prayer moves mountains. Prayer is what got my Henry home. I'm convinced he has brought, at least personally, 12 children I know for sure into families, most of whom heard about it because I had a blog. A lot of other Catholic blogs picked that up, and a lot of Catholic families have adopted just through sharing through social media, Facebook, Twitter, different blogs. So please share the waiting children and come to our official Reese's Rainbow Facebook group. Ask, we'll let you in, and you can help us by sharing that way on your personal Facebook and Twitter.
There you go. So many wonderful opportunities for you to help. Reese's Rainbow, REECES rainbow.org is the website. And Carla Dobrovits with us this morning. And as Carla said, there are so many different ways that you can help. If you're not being called to adopt a special needs child, everybody gets it. You know, it's not a calling for everybody, but perhaps it could be something that would be close to your heart. You can help a family. What about volunteer opportunities, Carla? Do you need volunteers to help out with anything?
You know, the volunteer thing that actually has been, we've seen more and more, is people and families raising money for either a specific family or a specific waiting child. My good friend, Kara, has adopted 2 little boys with Down syndrome from Ukraine, and I've been blessed to be one of their godmothers. And her oldest daughter, Amelia, for Lent and for her confirmation project, picked a little boy with Down syndrome on our website and was selling various items, doing artwork to see if people would bid on and do that. She's 11 years old. And has raised money for this child's grant fund, was doing Facebook Live chats for things for him. And in the 40 days of Lent, while she was doing that, the little boy had a family commit to him. And now she's helping raise money for them. So that is a great way to come alongside us. Look at the website as a family. You know, talk about what other children go through in other parts of the world. You know, and see if there's something that perhaps maybe one of your children, maybe as a family, you could, you know, help out as a project with that. And again, make everyone in your family. My son was a special ed teacher for a while. He shared the children. My daughter actually is going to school now to be a physical therapist to work with disabled children. She shares Reese's Rainbow. Bringing it especially to that younger group of people, I think, is really critical. So get your children involved early and thinking about what we can do to help these least of our brothers and sisters. And, you know, they'll be able to share it with some other people who, again, maybe aren't in a position to adopt right now. But if you really want to know how to make a real difference in someone's life, most families blog. You can see their pickup day, their gotcha day. When that child comes with them, they let you know how the adjustment is going later. You can follow that child and that family later. That's a real blessing, and it's a real tangible result you can see and follow of your almsgiving. I think it's very good for our children and families to see that, you know, to see the results of what their sacrifice meant.
Amen. Amen. No, this
to
is
an actual
it's
individual.
Yeah, it's a great idea to get involved with this as a family. You know, now I'm an empty nester. We have grandchildren now though, but if you still have children at home, what a wonderful witness to your children, to your family, to help an organization like Reese's Rainbow. I'm Gus Lloyd. Carla Dobrovits, thank you so much for what you're doing, and keep up the great work for the kingdom. I know God is going to continue to bless you and use you as you do his work out there in the world. So God bless you and your family, Carla.
Thank you, Gus. You too. Blessed Holy Week.
And right back at you, Carla Dobrovits. And again, Reese's Rainbow.